evening to each one of you. As you know, I'm Ravi Bala. I would like to say that I'm proud to say that I'm a NLP master trainer for last 20 years, and I'm also a counselor and a freelance journalist. As I was mentioning in my last topic, that is Vipassana 2, I had said that mm, there were a few, what do you say, barricades or few barriers by which I could not motivate myself enough or inspire myself enough. In spite of all the meditation, I also did it very, very religiously, not religion per se, but very, very sincerely. And as everybody goes through the ups and downs in life, and I found NLP, and I'm so thankful to this universe for introducing me to this wonderful world of self help. So let me tell you what NLP is. NLP is the full form is neuro linguistic programming. um, Neuro is related to our brain or subconscious mind. Linguistic is the language which we use, and that's the way we program. So I would like to say that over the years, even though I have studied so much, I have been practicing, I have been using it for my counseling skills also, I still feel that I have got just a part of it because it's an ocean. Like each field is really so vast, and we go on searching how it is an applied science, how does it, is it useful. So today, that's the reason why I have chosen this topic as NLP for day to day life. How it can change, how it has changed my life, how it will change if you go, if you there are more people, those who are interested in learning, from whosoever it is possible, do learn NLP. So I'm going to share quite a bit of slides today, and I'll be also giving commentary with that. So let me just share a slide, and then 1 minute. So NLP is when NLP came in the into the market, I can say market in the sense when it started, people finding it useful. The founders, those who were Dr. Grinder and Dr. Richard Bandler. Dr. Grinder is a linguist, and Dr. Richard Bandler is a mathematician and a computer wizard. They both were disciples of Milton Erickson, who was the um, a great hypnotist. And when they started observing him, that how beautifully he is working with his beneficiaries, I won't say patients because that's not the right way of saying, those who are coming to him for guidance. So they observed that there are various stories or the language patterns which Milton Erickson uses, and then how even the words are making such wonderful impact or the effect on the beneficiaries. So they made quite a lot of studies on that, and then they gave a constructive form to this particular field of behavioral science. And then when they said it is a science, people in the mainstream of psychology, they felt that how can you call it a science? But then when it is said that if it is useful for one person and the same thing for the other person, it is proven that there is some formula or there is some structure to it which can be used by everybody. Some say it is a set of self-help skills. So whatever it is, instead of going into the details, we'll see that how it is useful to us. So there are a few 1 minute, a set of profession. 1 minute. Huh. Okay, so there are a few pre- assumptions, or we call it as presuppositions. On the basis of that, NLP is based. So I'll introduce you to these presuppositions first, and then we'll see how it is useful. So NLP is a study of human excellence. So the wonderful thing is, mm, it is a study of the most successful people in the world. Why they have failed? Instead of that, NLP focuses on how they have succeeded, or what is the structure behind their success. Also, the basic difference between the traditional psychology and NLP is, right from Sigmund Freud, many psychologists have focused on why it has happened. I mean, any problem, if anybody faces, the focus is on, oh, why it has happened. Let us go to the root of it. NLP focuses on whatever the reason may be, how you can come out of it. So instead of why, they are focusing on how it can be changed, how it can be amended, how the behavioral patterns or the responses can be changed, and how it will. So you see, even in our day-to-day life, when we have problems, it is of course necessary to go to the root and find out why it has happened, so that it won't be repeated. But however, it after that, let's I mean, one shouldn't be involved in the why factor, but how immediately you can change your own behavior, your own emotional states. So we use another word for that is resourceful state. So resources, as you know, we have, like a building has to be constructed, then cement, manpower, then money, everything, all are resources. So we also, as a individual, we have so many potential and resources. So we'll see how what resourceful state is. So here we'll come back to this slide. Behavior patterns can be transferred from person to person, and excellence can be modeled. So now suppose, I mean, I from India, I always give this example. Like for instance, Mr. Modi, the way he is working, or any leader for that matter, whom you really admire, what is the difference that is making a difference for his success? If you start modeling, uh, you also can be successful, is the presupposition. So presuppositions are useful assumptions. One needs to assume that they are true, start using, and see the results. So if one person can do something, anyone can learn to do it. It is possible to model success. It can be taught and learned. Modeling successful performance leads to our own excellence also. So as I was saying, we have um, the resources. So the assumption is, each one of us, if we tell, like, right now also, each one of you can keep a hand on your heart and then say to yourself that I have all the resources I need. Let's do that. I can't hear you, but then all of you can do that. Say, put a hand on your heart and then say, I have all the resources I need, with a real impact, with a lot of confidence. The important thing is, whenever we want to change our life, the best thing to do is change your self talk. So we can catch ourselves now mindfully, that when all the times I'm talking negative, or the which is coming out of my limiting belief, and I would like to change it. So this presupposition really is useful, that I have all the resources I need. Now, these resources can be your potential, your abilities, your skills, your knowledge, whatever it is. So, the most wonderful presupposition, the second part of this presupposition is, there are no unresourceful people, only unresourceful states of mind. Means, whenever you are under stress, so if you know in your heart of hearts that I can come out of it, because in my past, so many times I have come out of it. So, here again in NLP, we use the past experiences, your successful, your confident experiences, and then they become a capital for your present and for your future. So, one has to have a total faith in your own ability, that I have all the resources and I can come out of it. Another wonderful part of NLP is, the definition of communication itself. So, what it says is that communication is the response you get. So, what happens is when we start talking, communication creates an experience in the listener. So, in his mind or in front of his eyes, some images get created. So, to get the intended result, communicate differently. Uh, are you all with me? Is there any problem? Okay.
No, we are good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
To get intended result, communicate differently. So, effectiveness of your communication is not what you meant, but what the other person understood. I mean, that's the most wonderful part. So, you won't believe from last 20 years, maybe, I have stopped saying that so many times I'm telling that person, but he hasn't understood. Actually, when you go to see this particular definition of communication, you will realize that the ball is always in our court. We have to make a different effort to reach out to him to get intended result, communicate differently. So there can be so many obstacles in our communication. Probably the person cannot hear you properly, or your diction is not correct, or each one's maps are different. So whatever you are saying, he has a different image in front of his eyes. So suppose now it is down, nowadays it is snowing. So for some people it will be snow. Wow! First time somebody is saying, "What a lovely snowfall," and those who are really tired of the cold, they say, "Oh, what snowfall?" So when you are saying snowfall, it can be have different ripples toward or different interpretations in each one's mind. So. Effectiveness of your communication, again I'm coming to this, is not what you meant but what the other person understood. So how you will understand that other person has got what exactly what you mean is naturally, I mean, I can't have the question answer, but I always get answers from you people. You can say that how will you understand that the other person has understood what you have want to say. Can you can unmute yourself and then give answers?
By looking at the results, like intend whether the results are as you intended or not.
Yeah, so that means has he worked on your plan or he has implemented whatever chore you have told, and then you'll understand, isn't it? That's what you mean?
Exactly.
Ah, good, very good. Okay, somebody else? Anybody else? How will you know that the other person has understood what you want to say?
Ravi, I think by his response, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
so what exactly what response will you by which you will know that he knows it?
response is not what I'm expecting to hear, but what the truth or the reality is, and not exactly what I want to hear. His part of the thing, which whatever
Yeah,
I have
one way.
communicated.
And also maybe from his face, from his
Correct.
expressions.
The body language always
That's right.
expresses
That's right. Very
what the person is, whether the topic is interesting or not. Actually, it's the body language which expresses more than the words.
very good. Exactly. That's right. So if you don't get the intended results from the other person, anybody else wants to say something? Somebody else? Okay, I thought the echo was there. Okay, so the thing is,
I would suggest if you, after you finish talking, please unmute yourselves, mute yourself, sorry.
yeah, yeah, Shivanjali, you want to say something?
Yeah, basically that person agreeing, if you have a discussion regarding any point, right? If he agree to your point, that means he he's actually.
Very good. And thank you, Shivanjali. And suppose if he doesn't agree, that means instead of having any, what do you say, Vad Vivad, what we say in English?
Argument.
Argument, thank you. So instead of that, the best thing is you go and explain to him in some other way, the way he will understand. Or suppose if he agrees to it, fantastic. If he doesn't, then you do something else. Maybe you can explain to him with an example or something of the kind. So I hope you have got the gist of it, that no, if the person has understood or no, that means your communication is clear. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so if what you are doing isn't working, do something else. So in life, it is said that insanity is in doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So some many times it happens. Though we need to pursue, however, instead of getting frustrated, do something else. So person with most choices of behavior will have most influence, and flexibility is the key. If somebody, due to the ego, if he says, no, no, I want to do it this way only. So if you're not getting the result, one tends to get frustrated, or there are arguments or something of the kind, or in life also you feel that it's a failure. So nothing of the kind, do something else, So there again, you need to have equilibrium. Again, there vipassana comes in mind, or your meditation comes handy. Okay. So I usually give this flexibility example. I give like Mr. Tata. So he had decided this nano, this particular car, he wanted to start the production in West Bengal. But unfortunately, Mamata Banerjee, she just did not allow him to have any kind of a factory there. So big industrialists, what do? They are extremely flexible. So what he did is he set up the whole thing in Gujarat. Unfortunately, Nano further, it couldn't go further. Its production is stopped. But then flexibility is the key, is the most important point here. So in life also, we need to be really flexible to reach wherever you want to reach. Next is every behavior has a positive intention. So behind every behavior, the person engaged in that behavior, for him it makes sense. What happens is, suppose if you hear somebody yelling, for and if you immediately say, oh my God, why is he yelling? And if you go closer and then you realize, oh, that person is asking for help. So the thing is, prima facie, you may feel that the person's behavior is not right, or it doesn't fit into my expectations. But then that person has his own reason. Like somebody, blames you or labels you. But suppose if you are in that particular situation, you reason out, or you feel it is logical, my behavior is logical. Now, however, the person is not his behavior, because suppose if you are in that particular circumstance, you also may have behaved the same way. So you won't believe, since last 20 years, as I am repeatedly saying, how NLP had changed my life is I started empathizing with people more. I started understanding why the person must have behaved that way. Just because the person's behavior doesn't fit into my expectation, it doesn't mean that he is wrong or right. So in NLP, there is nothing wrong or right, good or bad. It's there, and we label it. And another sentence I would like to say is, words are mere words, we give meaning to them. So the thing is, if you start understanding others behavior, suppose if you don't understand, I always use this therapy, and that is called a question therapy. So I will ask that person, oh wow, you have done this, can I know the reason behind it? And the thing is, when the person explains, you realize that, yes, it makes sense. So instead of labeling anybody or being judgmental, the best thing is to realize that behind every behavior, there is a positive intention. Of course, if somebody, murders or something, he may be having his own positive intention. But it doesn't mean that it may fit into the legalities, but he has his own intention. Okay, so okay, now this is a wonderful dimension to NLP's communication, and that is every experience has a structure. Now, structure is composed out of senses. So we know that sensory acuities, we have 5 sensory acuities, but in NLP, we call it 3. So V is visual, A is auditory, and K is kinesthetic. So under kinesthetic comes olfactory, gustatory, touch, and feelings. And people's maps are based on this structure. So you won't believe that even we speak based on the VAK language. So at the end of it, I'm going to show you a list of predicates which how we speak and how a rapport building can be done when you start speaking that person's language. So you all know that our 1 or 2 sensory acuities are very strong. So some people are very, very visual. Some are more, emotional. So they are kinesthetic, and there are tests, when I take the workshops, I take the test, and then we know that which this person is of which which sensory acuity is stronger. So, and our maps are based on this structure. So at the end of it, as I said, you'll have a wonderful experience with these words. Okay. Then another presupposition is map is not the territory. You may have heard this statement quite a lot, frequently. You all know that each one's maps are different. So like each person is different. Then what happens is there is no one reality. So because each one's maps are different. So suppose at some our particular incidents, if 5 different people are present there, each one will tell a different story of the same incidents. The reason being, from his point, maybe he is more auditory. He will only hear the sounds happening which took place. Other person is more visual. He'll only have the imprints of the important visual effects that incidents may have given him. Or the kinesthetic person, oh, so did you see the feeling on his face? Oh, but did you hear what he said? No, I didn't hear because I'm not a auditory person. So each one's reality can be different. So you might not agree with someone's behavior, but if you had his experience, you might, because as I said, each one's maps are different. So the more you try to be in the other person's shoes and walk a mile, you will know that where the shoe pinches. So understanding the other person's maps is the ability one can enhance to be, build a better rapport, have better relationships, be successful in your career, because you understand where the other person is coming from. Maybe your colleagues, maybe your juniors, even your boss, where he's coming from, what is his map. So it all helps, to understand how the maps are built. So NLP is the art of understanding the map, creating more choices and changing perceptions. Another thing, the next presupposition is if you can change your map, you will change your emotional state. Now, this is a submodality which you can see on the slide here. I can give you more explanation, but first we'll read out this. So with submodalities, you can change your past, present, and also the future experiences. And many subtleties of each experience are of VAK. So I would like to say in submodality, this is a whole lot, big portion of it in NLP, which tells us, now suppose if you have an experience, past experience, and if you want to recall that experience, so or even for the future you want to visualize, so how you can make use of all the submodalities. So we are going to do one exercise of submodalities at the end. So two things, one is the predicates of VAK and the submodalities based on that, you're going to do one exercise. Okay, I'll come back to that. And people always make the best choices available to them, which is so useful, So when you suppose to you take a decision, and then after some days you repent on that decision. So the best thing is you need to go to that particular time again, you revisit that incident and say that, oh, I had only 4 choices that time, and I made the best choice available to me at that time. So that way you can convince your own self that, I took a right decision that time. Now you can be flexible. If you want to go back on your decision, make a different choice, you can do that. But instead of repenting over your choice, the best thing is to tell yourself that were the only choices which were available. Now, suppose, you'd want to take admission somewhere, or you want to take up a job somewhere. So you are making the best choice available to you at that particular moment. So a person makes the best choice in with the information available to him. So what you can do is give him a better choice in his map of the world, or a better map with more choices, so that he can be more empowered. Now people respond to their maps of reality and not to reality, because as we saw, there are each person has a different reality, isn't it? Now, this is another very, very mind boggling presupposition of NLP, and that is when we communicate, we have a breakup of communication. We communicate only with 7% words. Can you imagine? 55% body language and 38% tone and pitch of your voice. So, any one sentence with different tonality and with different body language, it has a different meaning. So if all three are in congruence, then your communication is complete. So if anybody wants, at the end we can talk more about it. But right now I'm just making you aware that what is the breakup, which is really mind-boggling. What is the breakup of communication here? So in Marathi, I'll explain this cartoon, which I found very suitable to this communication. That this is a father at the left hand side, and he tells his this Chintu, small cartoon boy, very smart boy. So the father says, "Take this compass box," but then he says, "Oh, I took the money from mother, and then I have got the compass box already." But then he said but I had told you that I'll get the compass box for you. He says, yes, but I will get, that your statement didn't have much impact. So I didn't realize that you really wanted to get it. So you can understand that whatever word you want to make as important, you have to give more, you have to say it with the more impactful tone, you can say that, and then the other person will understand. Like, I want to go to Bombay tomorrow. So I want to go to Bombay. So that means I want to go. I want to go to Bombay tomorrow. So, that way you can have the more impact on each word, and then there will be no misunderstanding in our communication. So, just now what we saw, that 38% tone and pitch of your voice, it makes the difference. Otherwise, people don't understand what you are saying. Then another thing is, you cannot not communicate. We are constantly communicating our actions, words, and even our silence. It makes something, some communication is there. Your body language is telling that whatever you want to say. Now, suppose if you are sitting with head down, face not very, very depleted energy, then the other person looking at you may say, oh, he's not in a mood, it looks like. So even then, your silence also is communicating. So there is one cartoon which I found. If, this boy, left hand side, he is a very robust boy. He says, "Don't teach me, okay." And then Chintu says, "Oh, in his own mind, I'm just keeping quiet, quiet." And then even then he says, "You have to deal with me, okay." Even then he says, "Quiet, quiet." Even then he hits him and says that, by keeping silent, he was making fun of me, you know. So even your silence can make people understand you differently. Okay, then another presupposition is there is no such thing as failure. Oh, only feedback. So what a wonderful presupposition is. So everything is a learning opportunity to discover what works. Use feedback for another plan of action. One must never say that I'm a failure, you know, or I have failed in this. No, like I always give the example of Thomas Alva Edison. 1,000 times his experiments went failed, you know, that the bulb wasn't lighted. So his friend asked him that, don't you think it went west? It went west. He says no. Then I knew that what 999 times how the bulb doesn't light. You know. So what a positive way of looking at his own. I mean, taking it as a feedback for his another plan of action. And the most, as I said, most flexible element in any system can control that system. Flexibility has power. Remember and recognize this power and more possibilities. So one needs to be very flexible. Rigidity, you know, it doesn't help. Then, as we all yoga disciples, we know that mind and body are parts of the same system and affect each other. So mental attitude affects body. Now, think differently, see and experience the change in the body. Make a change in posture and experience change in the body. So, what we are going to do is we are going to do this exercise right now. Okay, motion creates emotions. So, I'll explain to you further. 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, I think I've got one slip. A choice is better than no choice. You are not forced to rely upon only one choice. Intelligence lies in having more choices, creating and thinking about more choices. Okay, now this particular exercise, I'll explain to you more. Motion creates emotions. Anthony Robbins, as you all know, is a great motivational speaker. He is also called as Tony Robbins. His two books, which I have written, they are just encyclopedias of all the NLP techniques, and not only NLP, he calls it as human engineering, but Awaken the Giant Within and Unlimited Power. Just fantastic books. So, what he says is identify what you are feeling now, then acknowledge and appreciate your emotion also, which is your usual unresourceful emotion. So sad, mad, glad, you know, whatever you are in. Now, you right now you can just think, look at these. You know, there are so many unresourceful emotions: discomfort, fear, hurt, anger, disappointment, guilt, frustration, inadequacy, overload, loneliness. You know, we all go through these emotions. But like last time I had showed you, I don't know if you all were there, but that graph I had drawn, and then I had said that intensity, duration, and frequency. So these three criterias. Now, whenever you are into this unresourceful emotion, one needs to ask ourselves that, do I want to stay in this unresourceful emotion? How frequently it is coming and how intense it is. Okay. Now, if you say that, no, I don't want to be in this, but then no other science gives us that how you can change it. I have found an excellent skill here, which changes our emotion in a jiffy, you know. So we'll come back to this. I'll explain to you. Then suppose if we are in the frustration or disappointment. So if you want to have cheerfulness, you know, excitement, passion, curiosity, especially these resourceful emotions, amongst them appreciation and gratitude, curiosity, humor, cheerfulness, all these emotions are, they came so handy to me individually, and to whomsoever I used to teach in during the pandemic times also. That if you enhance these abilities of creating this emotion, you can be you can make a lot of difference in the quality of our life. We don't get stuck in those unresourceful emotions. Okay, so use another thing. We are going to come back to this exercise, but I'll just explain to you this. Then words also, how they change the destiny. Words make you feel differently. So use transformational vocabulary to lower the intensity of our unresourcefulness. So change your focus of mental patterns and your physiology. So just have a look at this, how the words change. So if you are feeling that I'm feeling afraid, you can choose to feel differently just by changing the words. Oh, I'm feeling uncomfortable right now. Or I'm feeling confused. I'm curious. Instead of depression, you can say I'm calm before action. Lost, with the word lost, you get stuck in that, it's a trap like. But then I'm still searching. It opens up new ideas, or new behaviors. I'm destroyed. You can say that I'm having a temporary setback or devastated. Or I'm disappointed or I'm delayed, failed. I'm still learning. There are n number of other words. Okay. So feel the feeling and choose the behavior. You can choose to react, respond, handle the situation, recognize and use your ability to make a choice. So this is a very, very important magical triangle I would like to introduce you. That is, this triangle is one angle has language and words, one has physiology, and other angle has emotions and focus. So if one angle you shift, you move, the other two follow. So we'll experience it right now. Okay, I'm just explaining to you. So what does NLP do is NLP teaches to create more choices of behavior and responses. So right now I'll stop here. I will show you the list of predicates right now, and then we'll do the exercise. So as I was saying that predicates, how we speak, the visual person, how he sees, how he talks his language is, oh, I see. The picture is very clear. Perceive, I notice, look, appear, clear. Auditory person says, oh, it sounds good. I can hear you. Let's discuss, listen to me, talk to me. Or the kinesthetic person says, I feel relaxed, all the olfactory, gustatory, emotions and touch, all these, I feel a pressure on my heart or on my body. All these things, the kinesthetic person has his language or expressing his, experiences in these words. So I'll give you an example. Now, suppose if like in my own life, it happened that whenever I used to say to my father also, or my daughter, my younger daughter, she is totally auditory. My husband is also auditory. So whenever I used to tell my husband that, oh, look here, I'm a visual person. See this. They don't feel that's important. But when I started saying that, listen to me, can you hear me? And then immediately my father also, he used to keep whatever, suppose he's reading a newspaper, he'll keep it aside and say, oh yes, I tell me. So he'll say, tell me, okay? And then look here. So in his map, look is not important. Here is more important. So another example, what I would like to give is, now, suppose in a house, the husband comes from his office, and the wife is, I'll stop sharing and then I'll talk to you. 1 minute. Can you see me? Oh, 1 minute.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can see you.
Huh. Okay. So the thing is, whenever the husband comes home from the office, and then he hears that the wife's is, her mixer is on, all that sound is so big, and then the teenager boy, his guitar is dan dan dan, it's going on, and then husband says, oh my God, there's so much of noise. Can I just sit quietly? And then the wife says, she's a totally visual person. So she says, oh, where there is noise? And then in her own mind, she says that I have set up the hall so well and the husband has not even noticed. So I always say that, as in our Indian communities, we see the kundali, when husband and the boy and the girl, they have to see each other. So I always say that their VAK tests also need to be done so that their rapport, their relationship can be better. And then the person will understand that she is a totally visual or a kinesthetic person and I have to cater to her needs. So, like that, if in the rapport building also, if you start using the other person's language, the person will understand it better. So it has so much of depth. The language makes so much of a difference in our life. So because it is 8:45, as I said, we will have two exercises. So are you all ready? Are you enjoying the whole thing? Will you like to take part?
Yeah, sure.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. So gallery view. Yeah. Okay. Good. So what we'll do is you can now unmute yourself. You can please put on your videos if okay with you. I also would like to see you all. That's nice. Hi, hi, Windy. Okay.
Hi.
I would like, it's so nice, Srikantji, every day he wishes everybody, and it's so wonderful that last in the first 5-10 minutes are so good, Everybody looks forward to Srikantji addressing everybody. So I want to give you that compliment, Srikantji, okay? So now, coming back to our session today, as regards to the motion creates emotions, I would like to give you a wonderful experience with this particular, which I feel it is a boon to mankind. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to use that magical triangle, as I had said. One is physiology, one is words, and one is emotions or the focus. So suppose in life, whenever we are in a depressed mood or we are feeling frustrated, so usually how our body language or the physiology is. So I'm going to request you to do that. Okay. So are you all with me? Will you all do that? Can we do that?
Sure.
Yeah, we
Okay.
will
Yeah.
try.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me tell you, we never try, we always do. Okay. So there is a vast difference. So now what we are going to do is put your hand on your head, like, on your forehead, look down. Maybe you can close your eyes and then shoulders drooped and the face, all depleted
Drooping.
energy. Yeah. So just fake it till you make it. Okay. Just be in this particular physiology and then see
Everything
what
looks so
what
dull.
yeah, what comes to your mind. Do it like this exactly. Put your hands on your forehead and look down. And unless you do that, you won't understand the importance of this exercise. So whenever in life, where if suppose something happens and you are feeling frustrated, naturally our body language becomes like this. So please share with me what self-talk comes to your mind. What is the sentence or the words you are talking to yourself? Can somebody share?
Yeah, everything looks depressing.
Depressed. And what else? What emotion is getting, it's you're feeling in which emotion you are right now?
The
Uh,
weekend
sad.
went by so fast.
Actually, it's a sad emotion,
Sad.
with yeah, and depressing.
Yes. Now, this is a total unresourceful state of our body and mind. Do you
Correct.
agree? Now, one has to ask a question to our own self that do I want to be in this or I want to come out of it? Okay. So, what do you think? Do you want to be in this or you want to come out of it?
Come out of it.
No.
Yeah, come out of it.
Now, if you are very sure, then what we are going to do is just now choose a new behavior. So we are going to choose another behavior. Now, suppose if we say I want to be in a cheerful state, okay?
Correct.
So whenever you are in a cheerful state, how we are, our face is radiant. Then what I'm going to do, you're going to do that, okay? Just now, just do this, hands up, and then say, wow,
Wow.
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
3 times,
Wow.
wow,
Wow.
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 wow,
Wow.
Wow.
and
Wow.
then say,
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes,
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
say
Yes.
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 Wow.
Okay, yeah, great. How are you feeling now?
Great.
Great.
In
Yes.
Great.
Happy.
Okay, so do you want to be going into this mood again?
No.
No, okay. Now what happens is, now just do this once again and say how boring it is. I'm feeling so sad. Can you
No.
do that?
No, I can't do that.
And then do this and say,
No.
oh, I'm feeling so cheerful.
No,
Can
you
you
can't
do
do
that?
that.
No. So the thing is, in that magical triangle, any one angle you choose, the emotion and then the words, the self-talk is also again follows. So other two angles follow. So physiology, emotion, and the words or the language, then automatically the focus also changes. So
Yeah.
whenever you are into this, very rarely we are fortunate. People will come and ask you, oh, why are you into this state? Come out, let's go. Not always we are fortunate. So this is a self-help technique. We have to ask
Correct.
ourselves, do I want to be in this or I want to come out of it? Now, suppose if I want to come out of it, how can I? Then I always put the music on, and then I make in my workshop the people dance, and then what
Yeah.
happens is even we can do that in our own lives. It change the mood. Like I being a real trekker, what I used to do is used to go to the nearby hill, and then all your blues, even if you're in the blues, you just come out of it. Refuse to be in any stuck position in life. So we do not know how to come out of it. NLP gives us different ways of coming out of it. Now, even you're getting rid of your past baggages. There are such fantastic skills and exercises here, or how to deal with your fears and phobias. Then rapport building, n number of skills are there. So this is how a great self-help science, I must say, that each one can be benefited. Okay. And then secondly, as I was saying, another one thing I had promised I'll be doing, motion creates emotions, so the predicates. And what was the third thing we said we'll do it?
What is the statement you said? Refuse to be in what state?
I mean, I put it in a very, very low,
Yeah. I
yeah,
I
like
like to hear that. I like to hear that.
stuck position.
Stuck up. Yeah.
Stuck,
Correct.
no, stuck up is different, and in this stuck,
Stuck.
there is in a trap position that
Correct.
I just can't come out of it. So what else can I do? So in a GFE, you can change your mood. Suppose if you decide I want to come out of it, then there are ways and skills which you can follow. And then you can empower yourself from unresourceful state to resourceful state. Because then you can ask ourselves, one can ask a question to ourselves, how is it helping me? Why am I in this? Now, suppose some bad incidents has happened. Um, I know that healing takes place, but then after some time, we can say that, oh, come on now, let's move on. When we say move on, actually the move on word tells us to go ahead and come out of that unresourceful state. Then there are uh, various ways of asking ourselves questions. So that's called a meta model. So it is said that the intelligence lies in asking right questions. So
Correct.
whenever we want to reach our goal, if we ask right questions, then we can reach to that particular state of mind or state of physiology or our goal. You can reach the goal faster. Another thing I wanted to give you an experience, and that is submodalities. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would do that exercise. So are you all ready? Can
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So just close your eyes, sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes,
I do.
Stable. You can switch off your audios now so that there won't be any disturbance. Okay. So just close your eyes, stable, sitting, comfortable. Now we are going to, each one of you, you're going to recall any particular incidents of your life when your self esteem, your confidence was to the extreme point, like out of your own, with your own merit, you have achieved something. It's not somebody else's success you're going to recall, it's your own successful experience you're going to recall right now. The best, there may be many, but out of that, whatever your subconscious mind tells you, oh wow, this is where I really did good. So that particular experience you're going to recall with all five senses: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. The olfactory, that is taste and the smell also, and the touch also. Be in that moment right now. Now, just see if you would like to make that picture bigger. If it is a still frame, you may like to make it a film or a video. Make it still bigger. You may like to bring whosoever was missing at that particular moment of your life. Maybe your close relatives, maybe your good friends. You can bring them also. They are rejoicing, they are celebrating, they are witnessing your successful moment. Make it still bigger. You can add some colors of your own choice. Real colorful. You can add some vibrant colors if you are comfortable. Make them still more colorful. The shades. You can add some music also of your own choice. Maybe a constant or intermittent music. You can see where it is coming from your right, left, top, bottom. If you want to make it louder, the tone and the pitch, or smoother, whatever it is, see your own comfort level. Make that picture still bigger. Maybe all 360 degrees, if you are comfortable. See everybody there, all your loved ones, if you want to. You may like to add anything, whatever you want, the color, the sound, the taste, or the smell of your own lovely fragrance, whatever perfume you want, or any scented stick, whatever it is. You are making this particular moment really memorable. You're feeling so good, 360 degrees. Everybody is so happy for you. Maybe if you want, they're clapping for you. Just have a great imprint of this particular moment, the enhanced 360 degrees, all, all over you. A big imprint on your mind, brain, your body, whatever you want to feel it, with all five sensory acuities. Just enjoy this. Be in this blissful state. You're feeling so good. for your future successes, this particular moment is going to give you a lot of confidence, assurance that yes, you can do it once again in your life. And now I'll call from 3 to 1 and we'll come to this present moment. 3, 2, and 1. You can rub your palms, put it across your eyes, give the warmth and the energy to your eyes and to your whole face, and allow yourself, whenever you are ready, to slowly open your eyes. Come back. Hello. How was it?
Yeah, it was rejuvenating.
Very good.
It was feeling more confident.
Yeah, how nice.
Yeah, very good. Very nice. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so shall we all call it a day, and then we'll end the session by all putting our hands up and say, wow. All of
Wow.
you? Yeah, all of you. Please.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Awesome.
So we are all going to do wow whenever we want to be in the resourceful state, okay? And then say yes.
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 We'll say,
Okay.
wow, what a fruitful session.
Thank you.
Very
Thanks.
good. Thank you.